In year 2, I was door monitor with my friend. The doors had to be open from the inside. We let other people in to use the toilets at break. We were hanging at the back of the room, and for some reason, in my tiny stupid 6-7-year-old mind, I thought let's snap all the crayons in half. I snapped every single one. They was quite a few. They were expensive, and let's say school wasn't the richest. I think one day after, the teacher sat us all down and asked who snapped all the crayons. My heart was pounding. Me and my friend decided to blame it on a troublemaker. We said when we let him in, he was hanging around the crayons and we saw them being broken. Because we were two-faced goody two-shoes, we were instantly believed. The boy had to miss break for 1 week and get shouted at by the headmistress and eat dinner with the head. It also gave him strike. He already had a few. In year 3, he was expelled because he had done too many bad things. I'm pretty sure, me snapping crayons got him done. TLDR 7 years ago, I snapped a lot of expensive crayons. My friend stuck up for me and we blamed it on a troublemaker, which was later used to expel him. Okay, so I am sorry about this, but it is what it is. 7 years back when I was in 6th grade, our school gave us some kind of template and it was basically for collecting money for some people with some disease. So I went all over my neighborhood and my relatives and end up getting $247 in total. I was happy that this money is going to help some people, but I don't know what changed my mind. Maybe BCZ I haven't had that much money before. So I kept all the money with myself and I bought myself a phone with it, which my parents didn't knew I had. I hid it in flush cover. I tried to troll someone suffering from mental health issues a few years back. Back then maybe I didn't clearly understood the importance of mental health or the issues surrounding it. I thought that the person was absolutely fine and was just lying. But now that I understand the seriousness of the crime that I had committed, I truly regret it. That person still doesn't know that it was I who said those things. I don't know what I can do to amend for the mistake that I have done. For a long time I needed a micro USB cable for a wireless charger I have, so when I was at my grandma's house I opened a drawer and I grabbed one from a cabinet and took it home. This was about a month to 2 months ago and I still think about it. I would give it back, but I have since lost the cable. When I have money I will probably buy another to replace it. When I was 10 years of age, I vandalized my school bathroom with red felt tip. When my year was questioned in assembly, I got really nervous and at the end of assembly, I told teacher that it was another student, who got suspended for a week or 2. I felt bad then and I still do now, even though it was in the past. About 7 years ago, my parents had a secret place where they hid some of their savings they kept in cash. This was still a substantial amount, about 200 to 300 pounds. I took 20 pounds a week until it nearly all ran out, buying unhealthy sugary drinks, sweets, and snacks before school. They somehow never found out. I think they both assumed the other had put it into their savings account. I feel bad to this day, not only because of the money I took from my parents but also because my siblings never had access to this kind of money, as our allowance was always quite small. As a teenager I was one of those smart but lazy kids. I would bust my ass to get really good grades so that way I would never have to do any extra credit, and so I could occasionally blow off an assignment and it wouldn't hurt my grade. My parents were the type that would always tell me to try my best and do all the assignments no matter what, but honestly if I could still have an A average in the class if I didn't have to do the big project at the end of the 6 weeks period, then I would just not do it. Oftentimes I'd have like a 98 in the class, so I wouldn't even half-ass the project, I'd quarter-ass it. Then I'd get like a 40% on it and still have like a 92 in the class. My parents were happy that I was still keeping an A, so they never asked about it. Yeah, so I met an amazing person on Reddit not too long ago and we really got along, but I initially lied about my age by a year because I was insecure and wanted to seem a little older. I told the truth as soon as I realized the consequences and they did not take it well. I hate the way this makes me feel, and knowing I upset them has been a real burden. I would never hurt someone like this IRL. I would really like to talk to them again because I can't live with the way it ended. But I want to respect their privacy too. About 20 years ago, in grade school, liked to pickpocket pencils and pens and pretend I didn't know what happened. There were no locks in the lockers, so I would walk to school early, and open every locker looking for pencils and pens because I lost mine. I would open bags while everyone's in the field at lunch. And when I failed, I ask for pencils and lie that someone borrowed them from me. Wow, this subreddit took a lot off my chest. I live with my mother, and yesterday I had a spontaneous booty call. I didn't want to tell her about it because lately we agreed on that casual sex is bad for me. I disrespected her by doing it anyway, so I didn't want her to know about it at least, so I told her I was out with a classmate. While I was in bed with that dude, my mom called 5 times and I didn't answer, so she called my friend's mother. Both my friend and her mother had to cover for me over an unknown lie for them, even though they had no idea what was going on. I ended up kicking the poor guy out even though we weren't finished. So, in conclusion, I ended up worrying my mother, putting my friend and her mom in a weird situation and kicking some dude out in the middle of business. Everyone forgave me so fast, and I don't think I deserve it.